Employment law in Malaysia is primarily governed by the Employment Act 1955 to set out the rights and obligations of employers and employees in the private sector. Section 2 of the Employment Act 1955 defines contract of service as any agreement, whether oral or in writing, implied or expressly, whereby one person agrees to employ another as his employee and the other party agrees to serve him as an employee, include an apprenticeship contract.
What is employee? Employee is any person or class of persons. A. Included in any category in the first schedule to the extent specified there be, in respect of whom the minister makes an order under subsection 3, or section 2A. Employers is any person who has entered into a contract of service to employ another person as an employee, includes the agent, manager or factor. Here are the duties of employers. Payment of wages, provisions of a safe work environment, issuance of employment contract, granting of leave, overtime payment, termination of employment, compliance with labor laws, and provide medical benefits. Under the provisions of a safe work environment, employers are legally required to provide a safe and healthy work environment and a safe system of work. This includes complying with Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, providing safe tools, machinery and equipment, implementing safety SOP and supervision, conducting risk assessments and training, and preventing hazardous working conditions.
While performing diving operation for the defendant company, the plaintiff was injured. He claimed for damages. The court held the defendant company had failed to provide safe and proper system of work, as they did not provide a second diver at the scene, and also they were negligent. Next is payment of wages. Fair wages reflect justice and fairness, respect for dignity, and professional trustworthiness.
The next on is granting of leave. An employer must decide how much annual leave his employees are entitled to, and a clause on this matter should be included in the employee's written terms and conditions of employment. Lastly, provide medical benefits. While the Employment Act doesn't explicitly mandate employers to provide medical insurance, employers are required to ensure that employees receive medical care and medical-related benefits, especially in relation to illness or work-related injuries. Next, let's see the duties of employees. There are 5 duties of employees. First, adherence to work rules and regulations. Second, duty to perform work. Third, duty of loyalty and good faith. Fourth, duty to report absence, and last one is duty to report employer's property. The first one is adherence to work rules and regulations, where it is an employee's responsibility to follow the lawful and reasonable rules set by the employer in the workplace. This duty arises from the employment contract and company policies. For example, an employee must arriving at work on time and following official working hours, obeying lawful and reasonable instructions from supervisors, following workplace safety and health rules, maintaining confidentiality of company and client information.
The second one is duty to report absence, where an employee has a duty to attend work regularly and perform their job as agreed in the employment contract. Any absence from work must have a valid reason and be properly communicated to the employer, such as applying for leave or providing a medical certificate.
Good morning, sir. I would like to inform you that I am not feeling well today and will not be able to come to work. I have informed my colleague to assist with my tasks and will submit a medical certificate. Thank you.
Thank you for informing me early. Please take the day off and make sure you submit the necessary documents when you return. Get well soon.
The duty to perform work refers to an employee's legal obligation to carry out the work agreed in the employment contract. An employee must perform their duties personally, diligently, and with reasonable skill and care. This means the employee is expected to do the job assigned, follow lawful and reasonable instructions from the employer, and meet the required standards of performance.
Fourth one is the duty of loyalty and good faith. Good faith means honesty, sincerity, and fairness in carrying out job duties. Employees must not deceive, cheat, or misuse their position for personal gain. Loyalty and good faith are important because the employment relationship is built on trust. Thus, employers rely on employees to act honestly and not take advantage of their position.
If you choose my company as the supplier, I can offer you some extra money and gifts.
I'm sorry, but I cannot accept this. All decisions must be made fairly and according to company policy. Accepting money would be unethical and against my duty to my employer.
By refusing the bribe, the employee shows loyalty and good faith. This ethical and professional behavior protects the company's reputation. Another important duty of employees is the duty to protect the employer's property. Employer's property includes physical items such as machines and tools, as well as confidential information like business data and trade secrets. Protecting employer's property reflects honesty and respect. Misusing property is a breach of trust and moral responsibility. Careful handling of company property shows accountability, discipline, and respect for organizational resources.
Please make sure that you did not leave the confidential folder on the desk before you leave.
Don't worry, I would not do that. Neglecting confidential documents can lead to information leaks, which may harm the organization. And it is also against my duty as an employee.